pineapple tea time cake. Hi, I'm Anupa and I welcome you to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. Now I'm going to show you a recipe which is very famous as a tea time cake. Yes, it's a very simple pineapple tea time cake. You can call it a pineapple cake, you can call it a pineapple bar, you can call it a tea time pineapple cake. I leave that to you, but right now you please note down all the ingredients for this recipe. So we need some canned pineapple finely chopped, eggs, powdered sugar, refined flour, butter, baking powder, vanilla essence, milk. Okay, so to begin with, there are two parts to this recipe. One is where we have to beat the eggs and one is where we have to cream the sugar and the butter. Now what happens is, at home we generally use an electric beater like this, and instead of repeatedly washing it, because when you do eggs you do not want any fat deposition on the blades, which means you cannot use the same beaters with which you have beaten the butter and the sugar, because if you touch the same beaters to the eggs will not rise in volume. So what I generally do is I beat the eggs first and with the same beater I cream the sugar and the butter. So this is a simple procedure, or it is something that I can say or maybe this is something which I have derived after my experience, and I really think I should share this with you. So what I suggest, we beat the eggs first and we leave it to rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. In the meanwhile, we'll cream in the butter and the sugar, and then we'll mix the cake and make this lovely pineapple cake. So for the eggs, we have a bigger bowl here. So we'll break all the eggs in this. So with the eggs goes in vanilla essence. We've got to beat the eggs till it comes to a ribbon stage. So for that, this will take anywhere around 12 minutes on medium speed. Like this, about 12 minutes. If you go even faster, it may be done in about 8 to 10 minutes. But make sure that the blades are absolutely clean, or the eggs will surely not double up in volume. So I have actually beaten the eggs till it has reached a soft peak stage. So now I'll just leave the eggs aside for some time. In another bowl, I'll take some butter, to which we'll add in some powdered sugar, and now we got to beat this again. You can use the same beaters. And now we got to cream this also till this entire mixture is light. So this will take another 5 to 8 minutes. Now as you cream, what you should do is you should gather everything in the center of the bowl. So just take a spoon or a spatula and bring all of this in. So again you do this, bring this in so that you are able to incorporate sufficient air in this. So this is the creamed sugar and butter. The eggs are done. All that I have to do now is I have to fold in the flour, the baking powder along with all the three. So basically the dry mixing has to be done with the wet mixing. So we'll just transfer the sugar and butter in a bigger bowl. In case if you have started off itself in a bigger bowl, then you don't need to change. I started off in a smaller bowl. So I'm just transferring all of this in another bowl. So here there's baking powder, refined flour, I'm just mixing, and here goes in all the egg, pineapple pieces, some I'll just leave to put on top, and now we have to fold this batter. So cut and fold Keep on rotating the bowl. Now let's add in the milk. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll just put this in a cake tin which we have lined. So this cake tin has been lined with parchment paper. So I'm just going to pour the batter in this. So just level this up nicely. And I'm putting this entire cake tin in the oven for about 25 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, and after 25 minutes we'll see how the cake looks. We'll cool it down and then cut into nice pieces. So this pineapple cake is out of the oven and it's still quite hot. I generally suggest that we shouldn't be cutting into a hot cake because it breaks. But since I have to show you how it looks from within, we will still cut it. But if you've made this cake at home, I suggest you wait for it to come down to room temperature and then you can put your knife and cut them into pieces the way you like it. So first what we'll do is, since we had put the parchment paper, demolding is not going to be difficult. You need to remove the parchment paper carefully. And then the one which is on the side also needs to go. Okay, so now this cake is done. It's still hot. I suggest we shouldn't be cutting it, but let's go ahead and do it right now. I can still see the fumes. So we'll let this cool and then we'll cut this into pieces and serve. Now pineapple cake is something, or this cake has a good shelf life. It stays well for about 3 days. But I'm sure if you make a cake at home, it won't even stay for 3 hours. Yes, that's the goodness of these recipes. So you make this cake, keep it in the fridge if you wish to store it, or else once you've cut them into pieces, it will get over within 3 seconds, believe me. And what you can do is, in case you want to make larger quantities, you can double up the recipe and make it into a loaf. You can make it into small cupcakes. I leave it to you the way you want to make it, the way you want to shape it, but follow the recipe and I'm sure you'll be very happy with the result.